Hello, and welcome to another RANGROO unit of the week. And today, we're taking a look at the Shiki G. So, the Shiki G, or otherwise known as a Type 74, was a main battle tank developed by Mitsubishi for the Japanese Defense Force, or JDF, during the 70s to the 80s. Now, this main battle tank took very similar design cues from the M60 and German Leopard 1, having like the same turret and light armor that both tanks had. Now, during the 70s and 80s when it was actually put into service, it was pretty much out of date due to the fact that Leopard 2, the United States M1 Abrams, and the T-80 were starting to roll off production lines and were far superior to its older style tank. Now, the version that we have in game, the Shiki G, is an upgrade over your standard Type 74, mainly with infrared vision, or infrared camera, and side skirts, but in real life they never really put that into production because it was pretty bloody expensive and they did not want to spend the money on it. In game, the Shiki G is a 60-point Japanese tank with year restriction of 1994, meaning you can only bring in Category A decks, type restrictions of mechanized, armored and motorized, and it is prototype, so you can only bring it in Japanese and Blue Dragon decks. And if you take a look at its first weapon, we have the L7 A 305mm cannon with a range of ground of 2.275 kilometers, 65% accuracy standing still, 55% while moving, with a good old 15 AP power and 10 rounds a minute. A very nice standard sort of your medium tank gun. Yeah, it's very good at dealing damage to medium tanks, but mainly it's really bloody accurate, 65%, and you only lose 10% accuracy while on the move, so you can move up quite effectively with this tank. And overall, it's just a very nice, bog standard medium tank cannon. And if you take a look at its second weapon, the Japanese said, bugger it, we're not going to put a machine gun on top like all the other plebs. Instead, we're going to plop a grenade launcher on top. So we got the Mark 19 grenade launcher, which is your pretty standard grenade launcher. Has, 1.225 kilometer range against ground units, 1 HP, a decent rate of fire. It's a grenade launcher on a tank, meaning that it can deal very good damage to infantry units, as that's what grenade launchers are all about. Also, it's a very nice gun for stunning up enemy armor. And if you take a look at its Smith's Galonia stats, we got 8 frontal armor, 4 side armor, 1 back armor, and 1 top armor. So, a pretty lightly armored tank. You do not want to get an array of enemy ATGMs. Has medium size, pretty poor optics, and an off-road speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Also only has an autonomy of 400 kilometers. In battle, the Shiki is quite an odd beast, just due to the fact it has that bloody grenade launcher on top. And because of that, it can engage in scenarios that you wouldn't really want a standard medium tank getting into. For example, you're about to deal with a bunch of enemy infantry, they shot an RPG at you. You can retaliate with a bunch of frag grenades and kill them. Pretty awesome, right? Let's say you're on a CQC scenario of a heavy tank, and it's about to wind up and kill you. Well, you can just retaliate with a bunch of frag grenades, stun it up, and then get out of dodge. And because of those things that it can do, it just makes it a lot more survivable and versatile. It's more of a Swiss Army knife. Instead of just being a tank that can only really deal with other armor, that's either medium or light, it can deal with infantry really effectively, and makes it just so great to have in your front lines, especially in those town heavy maps. I would have to say, if you're going to have a Japanese or a Blue Dragon deck, you definitely want to have this tank somewhere in your tank selection, because it's unique. The Mark 19, there's no other tank in existence, it has a bloody grenade launcher strapped on top, and it just makes it oh so much better. The Japanese definitely knew what they were doing when they picked this fine beast. But yeah, that's all I have time for. This has been another RANGROO unit of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and most importantly, take it easy.